What if saving money is a spiritual act? We live in a world obsessed with spending, where every click pulls at your emotions, every ad whispers, "You need more to be more." But here's a divine truth: you already have enough when you walk in awareness. To save money, you must first save your mind from noise, clutter, and lack thinking. Money is not just printed paper, it is energy, and it listens to your emotions. If you constantly tell your money, "You're not enough," guess what? It obeys, it disappears. But when you say, "You are welcomed, you are multiplied, you are managed with wisdom," it listens and it stays. Money is a mirror of inner order. Expanded, have you ever paused and asked yourself, what is the real reason I struggle with saving money? Is it truly because you don't have enough? Or is it because your inner world is in chaos? You see, money is not just about math. It's not merely about income, budgeting apps, or the latest financial trends. It's about alignment, it's about inner order, it's about the energy you carry and the consciousness you maintain when you think about your money. So many people chase wealth, but their minds are scattered, confused, and filled with lack-based programming. And here's the truth: your external finances will always reflect your internal condition. Yes, your bank account is speaking to you. It is echoing your beliefs. It is holding up a mirror to your habits, your emotions, your level of clarity. Just take a moment and let that settle. Your money is a mirror of your mind. When your thoughts are in disarray, your spending becomes impulsive. When your emotions are overwhelmed, you look for comfort in purchases that make you feel temporarily in control. When your vision is foggy, your money drifts, without purpose, without plan, without peace. So let me ask you, how do you treat your money emotionally? Do you fear it? Do you chase it? Do you scold it for not being enough? Or do you welcome it, bless it, and manage it with loving clarity? The way you speak about your money reveals your spiritual posture toward it. Words like, "I'm broke," "I never have enough," or "money runs from me" are not harmless expressions. They are verbal blueprints. They are declarations you've stamped upon your own financial future. Is that what you want to keep manifesting? Here's the deeper truth: when you bring order to your mind, your money follows. When you make peace with your story, your past mistakes, your childhood conditioning, your inherited patterns, you stop fighting with your money. Instead, you become a channel of calm intention. You become a container for prosperity. You become a magnet for divine increase. You cannot create abundance in a cluttered mind. You cannot manage increase with a nervous system in panic. You cannot manifest prosperity when your spirit is filled with guilt, shame, and self-blame. Saving money is not just a practical act, it's an energetic calibration. You are choosing order over chaos. You are saying to the universe, "I am trustworthy with what I've been given. I am not wasteful. I am ready for more." Now let's look deeper. Why is saving so difficult for many people, even when they earn well? Because there is disorder within. There is confusion about self-worth. There is guilt around holding on to wealth. There is fear that if they save, they will somehow miss out on life. Isn't that tragic? People fear that discipline means deprivation, when in truth, discipline is divine direction. To save well, you must think well. To think well, you must heal well. So here's the mirror question: do I treat money the way I treat myself? If you constantly neglect yourself, you'll neglect your finances. If you are impulsive with your emotions, you'll be impulsive with your wallet. If you feel unworthy of abundance, you'll sabotage your savings, even unconsciously. There's no shame in this realization. This is where change begins. Healing your financial life is not about working harder, it's about ordering your inner world with honesty and grace. When you become emotionally regulated, your spending becomes intentional. When your vision becomes clear, your savings become sacred. When you love and accept yourself, you begin to believe that you are worthy of overflow. So how do you begin to build this inner order? Start by clearing the clutter, both inside and outside. Yes, go clean your room, your desk, your wallet. Order in the physical world reinforces order in the unseen. Next, cleanse your language. Stop saying things you don't want to live. Say this instead. My money reflects my peace. My savings are secure. My income is guided by wisdom. Then, take a bold step. Face your finances with courage. Look at your accounts not with fear, but with love. Every cent you have is proof that some form of energy came your way. Honor it, track it, bless it. You can't change what you refuse to confront, and you can't confront what you keep judging. So approach your money with compassion. Yes, you made some financial mistakes. Who hasn't? But now, you're seeing through a new lens. A clearer lens, a divine lens, and that's where transformation begins. Let me ask you this. Have you ever met someone whose home was spotless, their routines intentional, their time sacred, and yet their finances were a mess? Rarely, because when the soul is ordered, the money reflects it. When the heart is grounded, the wallet knows what to do. So don't just focus on how much you can save. Focus on who you become while saving. Become someone who honors money as a form of spiritual responsibility. Become someone who saves not because they're afraid, but because they're aligned. Become someone whose bank account is simply a mirror of the discipline, peace, and clarity they walk in daily. Your money is a messenger. What is it trying to tell you today? Does it reflect fear or faith, chaos or clarity, impulse or intention? You don't have to fix everything overnight, but you can begin today by bringing just a little more order into your relationship with money. Because the moment your inner world changes, everything else follows. And isn't that the greatest wealth of all? Saving is not scarcity, it's sacred preparation. Expanded, how many times have you hesitated to save because a voice inside whispered, "What if I never get more?" How many times have you delayed putting money aside because the moment you held it, fear gripped you and said, "You deserve to spend this now"? This is the great lie of the scarcity mindset, the illusion that saving means missing out. But let me shake your spirit awake today. Saving is not scarcity. Saving is sacred. Saving is strategy. Saving is your spiritual declaration that says, "I am ready for more." Why are we conditioned to fear saving? Because we've been tricked into believing that if we don't use it all now, we'll lose it forever. But what if saving is not about withholding joy? What if it's about holding space for something greater? Yes, every dollar you save is not a loss. It's a prophecy. It is evidence that you believe the future holds blessings you must be prepared to meet. Do you want to know what separates those who struggle endlessly from those who rise steadily? It's not luck. It's not even intelligence. It's preparedness. When you save, you are not clinging to money in fear. You are positioning your spirit in faith. You are saying, "I expect opportunity. I expect increase. I expect open doors, and I intend to be ready." Saving is not about hoarding out of fear. Hoarding and saving are not the same. Hoarding is born of panic. Saving is born of purpose. Hoarding says, "I'll never have enough." But sacred saving says, "There's more coming, and I'll be prepared to meet it with strength, not desperation." So let's get honest. Why do so many avoid saving? Because saving requires stillness. It requires presence. It requires self-control. And in a world addicted to instant gratification, that level of discipline feels like resistance. But is it resistance, or is it refinement? Every time you save instead of spend, you're not depriving yourself. You're developing yourself. You're building muscle. You're growing a root system. You are building your container to hold more blessings. Because if you cannot hold on to money now, how will you handle double or triple later? Think of saving like digging a well in a dry season. Even if there's no rain yet, you're preparing to receive it. You're saying to the universe, "I trust you will pour into me, and I trust myself to catch it, hold it, honor it." What does it mean to save with sacred intention? It means you assign your savings a spiritual identity. You don't just stash money randomly. You give it purpose. You give it meaning. Say to yourself, "This money is for expansion. This money is for future freedom. This money is for impact. This money is for legacy." Don't you see how powerful that is? You are turning money into mission. You are transforming your bank account into an altar of belief. You are no longer just keeping money. You're channeling meaning into it. And here's something most never realize. Money that is saved in peace multiplies in silence. It grows while you sleep. It expands while you work. It becomes your safety net, your launch pad, your peace of mind. Isn't that a miracle worth nurturing? Let's break a myth right now. Saving is only for people who have extra. No. Saving is for anyone who wants to shift their mindset from survival to stewardship. Even if you can only put aside a small amount, it is not about the size, it is about the spirit behind it. Let me ask you, can you handle keeping what you prayed for? Because so many cry out for abundance but sabotage it when it comes. Why? Because they never learned the sacred art of holding, of waiting, of preparing. You are not poor because you earn little. You remain poor when you spend without alignment. Every moment you choose to save, you are rewiring your nervous system to trust the process. You are teaching yourself that not everything needs to be solved right now, that you can delay for something greater, that you are safe even when you're not splurging. What if the delay in your financial breakthrough is not because you're cursed, but because you're not prepared? What if the blessing is waiting for you to prove you can handle the weight of it? The promise is real, but so is the process. Saving is spiritual training. You are learning the rhythm of receiving and retaining. Not every dollar is meant to leave you. Some are meant to remain with you. Some are meant to build. Some are meant to anchor you in seasons of uncertainty. Imagine for a moment how different your life would feel if your savings were rooted in faith, not fear. If every time you saved, you smiled and whispered, "I'm preparing for overflow." How would your posture change? How would your energy shift? Wouldn't you walk taller, speak more boldly, and sleep more peacefully? So please hear this deeply. Saving is not small thinking. It's big faith. It's not a backup plan. It's a bold prophecy. It's not fear of lack. It's proof of your alignment with more than enough. You are not here to chase blessings desperately. You are here to prepare for them honorably. When you make saving a sacred habit, you step out of survival mode. You stop being the victim of emergencies. You stop being tossed around by every storm. You become rooted, ready, refined. You begin to say to life, "I do not panic. I plan. I do not fear the future. I fund it. I do not bow to chaos. I walk in clarity." Because in the end, sacred saving is not about what you keep, it's about who you become. And isn't that the truest wealth of all? Every coin obeys your command. Expanded, have you ever stopped and truly listened to how you speak about your money? What are the silent agreements you've made with your wealth, your bank account, your wallet? Because whether you realize it or not, every coin you own, every note you touch is listening, and more than that, it's obeying. Yes, every coin, every dollar, every rupee responds to your command. Money may be made of paper and metal, but it's not dead. It's vibrational. It carries the imprint of your energy, your beliefs, your words, your frequency. So the question is, what are you programming your money to do? Do you speak words like, "I never have enough, money slips right through my hands, as soon as I save it disappears," or "I don't know where it all goes"? Then don't be surprised when your money acts confused, unstable, and inconsistent, because you're not just describing it, you're instructing it. You are literally issuing orders with your words. Words are not empty, they are commands. Every time you open your mouth, you are giving life or draining power from your financial future. Can you feel how serious that is? You don't need a better job or a bigger paycheck until you first get a better script. Because if your inner dialogue is full of lack, no external increase will satisfy you. It will all vanish under the weight of your own beliefs. You may think you're just venting when you say things like, "Money always runs out," but you're not venting, you're vibrating. You're sending out a signal that says, "Chaos is welcome here, instability is familiar here, lack is my language," and money responds. It follows the tone of your voice, the certainty in your vibration, the energy behind your words. On the flip side, Have you ever noticed how some people just seem to have a magnetic relationship with money? They speak about it with gratitude, confidence, and respect. They say things like, I always have more than enough. My money grows effortlessly. Everything I spend returns multiplied. And guess what? Their reality mirrors it, because they aren't just speaking, they're commanding. They understand that money responds to leadership, not desperation. Let's pause right here and ask the real question. Are you leading your money, or are you chasing it? Are you commanding your wealth, or are you begging for it? Money is not attracted to panic. It is attracted to power, not forceful power, but the quiet, grounded authority of someone who knows they are in alignment. You must become the kind of person who walks into a room and says, I don't chase money. Money recognizes me. Money remembers my voice. But how do you build that kind of presence? You start with your words. Create new declarations. Speak life over your money daily. Speak it out loud. Yes, out loud. Because the vibration of your voice shifts the atmosphere around your finances. Try this. I am a wise steward of wealth. My money is a force for good. Every dollar I spend returns multiplied in joy, peace, and increase. Money honors me because I honor it. You must retrain your subconscious with new language until it becomes your natural tone. Let's go deeper, because this is not just about mantras or affirmations. This is about reprogramming your entire relationship with money. Ask yourself, what tone do I use when I talk about money? Is it anxious, bitter, careless, or reverent and grateful? You cannot expect money to respect you if you keep speaking of it with resentment. You cannot invite wealth in while simultaneously saying, it never stays anyway. That's like watering a plant and cursing it at the same time. Would you expect it to grow? Money is not your enemy, it is your messenger. It's not a problem to solve, it's a partner to understand. And like any good partner, it listens to how you speak to it and about it, even when no one is watching. Think about the last time you received unexpected money. Did you celebrate it or brush it off as not enough? When you paid your bills, did you give thanks that you could, or did you grumble the whole time? Because how you treat your current money determines whether more feels safe to come in. Money needs a safe home. And a safe home is not a spreadsheet. It's an environment of love, clarity, and respect. That environment begins in your mind, and it's reinforced by your mouth. There's another side to this: how you speak when spending. Do you say, there it goes, or this is a joyful exchange? Do you feel drained or empowered? Every time you make a purchase, your energy is sending instructions: return in peace, or don't come back at all. If you spend in fear, your money leaves afraid to return. But if you spend in love and trust, it multiplies like a seed sown in fertile soil. This is why people who love their money, bless their money, talk to their money, seem to always have enough, because they know every coin is a servant, and every servant needs clear, consistent direction. So start issuing new commands: grow, return multiplied, circulate with grace, support my highest good. And yes, say it out loud. Say it when you receive money. Say it when you spend. Say it when you save. Say it when you're unsure, because money doesn't just obey your effort. It obeys your energy. It follows your focus. It gravitates to your belief. What would change if you walked into each day as a financial commander, not a financial survivor? How would you speak if you truly believed that your money was listening to you right now? Would you dare to speak increase, even when your wallet feels empty? Would you speak multiplication, even when the math looks impossible? That's real power, that's spiritual leadership, and that's how you train your money to follow your command. Because at the end of the day, your money doesn't care what you hope for, it cares what you speak. It doesn't respond to what you fear, it responds to what you believe. So speak like a creator, command like a leader, and watch how quickly your finances begin to obey. Divine discipline builds lasting wealth. Expanded, why do some people rise and stay risen? while others keep circling the same mountain of lack, over and over again? Why do some taste abundance briefly, then lose it all, while others build slow, quiet empires that last generations? It's not luck, it's not privilege, it's not just intelligence, it is discipline, but not just ordinary, rigid, dry discipline. No, it is divine discipline, the sacred commitment to order, restraint, alignment, and spiritual responsibility. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is not restriction. Discipline is preparation for promotion. It is the way you prove to the universe, I'm ready. I can be trusted with more. I can carry the weight of wealth without collapsing under it. When you practice divine discipline with your money, you are saying, I choose intention over impulse. I choose vision over vanity. I choose future security over temporary stimulation. And that choice, it is sacred, it is rare, it is powerful. Let's be honest. Discipline doesn't feel exciting at first. It doesn't give you the instant thrill of a shopping spree or the sugar rush of spending to feel better. But while impulse feeds the moment, discipline feeds the future. Impulse empties you. Discipline builds you. Divine discipline is when you sit down with your money, even when you're scared, and you say, let's get organized. It's when you track your spending, not to obsess, but to honor. It's when you pause before a purchase, not out of fear, but because you've learned to ask, is this aligned with who I'm becoming? Isn't that the question we avoid? Is this aligned? Because discipline requires honesty. It forces you to confront the real reasons behind your choices. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is walk away from a momentary thrill, especially when you're hurting, lonely, or stressed. But discipline whispers, you don't need to escape. You need to remember who you are. You don't need more things. You need more vision. The person who can restrain themselves in private is the person who gets promoted in public. Why? Because they've proven they can handle blessing without self-destruction. What if every financial break, through you're praying for, is already written in your timeline, but it's waiting for your discipline to catch up with your desire? What if the floodgates haven't opened, not because the universe is withholding, but because you're not yet rooted enough to hold the downpour? Discipline is your root system. It's what grounds you when abundance finally arrives. It's the invisible scaffolding that keeps you steady when everyone else is collapsing under pressure. And let's make this clear. Discipline is not deprivation. It is not about denying yourself forever. It is about delaying with wisdom. When you discipline your spending, your saving, your mindset, it's not because you're cheap. It's because you're focused. You're not shrinking. You're sharpening. How different would your life look if you saw budgeting as sacred? If you saw restraint as refinement? If you said to yourself, every act of control is me preparing for the version of me who already walks in overflow? People love the idea of wealth, but few are willing to become the version of themselves that can sustain it. Do you want fast cash or lasting wealth? Because fast cash comes to the impulsive, but lasting wealth stays with the disciplined. Lasting wealth requires a certain kind of character. It asks for consistency. It doesn't come to those who can make money. It comes to those who can manage it. You've heard the phrase, to whom much is given, much is required. But what does that really mean? It means if you want more, you must grow more capacity, more stability, more self-awareness, more spiritual stamina, and all of that is trained in the secret places where no one is watching. Divine discipline says, even if no one claps for my restraint, I will still honor my goals. It says, even if no one sees me skip this unnecessary purchase, I know I just voted for my future. That is the quiet power of discipline. It doesn't need applause. It's not performative, it's personal. It's easy to spend money and look successful. It's harder to say no, stay home, save the money, and actually build success, because that path is slower, less glamorous, but infinitely more secure. Let me ask you, can you say no to what feels good now so you can say yes to what's divine later? Can you resist the urge to prove your worth through possessions? and instead prove it through preparation. Every time you delay gratification, you're not just saving money, you're saving momentum. You are creating the space for a greater yes, a higher opportunity, a destiny, aligned breakthrough that doesn't just bless you, but outlives you. Yes, discipline builds legacy. It teaches your children what you value. It sets the tone for your household. It rewrites generational patterns of lack, chaos, and fear. And don't forget, discipline is not just about what you don't do. It's also about what you choose to do consistently. You choose to review your finances each week. You choose to save before you spend. You choose to speak life over your money instead of fear. You choose to tithe, give, invest, plan. That rhythm becomes your foundation. That foundation becomes your peace. That peace becomes your magnet for wealth that doesn't just come, but stays. So the next time you feel tempted to spend impulsively, pause and say to yourself, I am not withholding joy. I am building joy that lasts. The next time someone mocks your boundaries, say inwardly, this quiet obedience is unlocking doors they cannot see. Because discipline may feel invisible now, but its results will be undeniable later. It may feel like you're holding back, but really you're stepping up, and that step, that quiet, powerful step into alignment, is where real wealth begins. Discipline is not what keeps you small, it's what proves you're ready for greatness.